Hi Gemini, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a tarot reading for your next 48 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. Do keep in mind this is general, so just take what resonates. But thank you in advance for your likes, comments, and of course subscriptions to this lovely channel if you haven't done so already. Now, to book a personal reading with myself, just reach out via email. Everything you need is down below in the description box. I'll definitely get that started for you. But as well, do keep in mind as we proceed that this is meant to, pertain to the following 48-hour period for you individually, starting around when you were guided or drawn to this video, not just following the specific time I post this, okay? So we're going to begin by pulling some messages or whatever we get from the Sacred Light Oracle deck, and then we'll further do a layered spread and speak upon your next 2 days with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Let's do some shuffling. For my lovely Geminis for this upcoming 48 hours for Gemini. Okay, we have Universal Merkaba. A sacred purpose, you have the answer. Or for some, I want to say answers. And I was pushed to finish that with within. Focus on lucid dreaming as well, okay? Vivid dreaming. I feel as if you're very connected to the universe in the next 48 hours. You could find that you're being given answers from spirit and through your dreams, through them speaking to you, synchronicities, you name it, tying into your future or just what has been feeling a bit mysterious or confusing recently. It is the next 48 hours where you're pushed to recognize or remember you have a sacred purpose in this lifetime, as things just feel as if they're either coming full circle or you're just feeling as if you're gaining clarity simply on what lies ahead, okay? We also have Crystal Kingdom, slowing down materialism in psychic debris. I did hear when I was doing the shuffling, so relaxed, and I am feeling that way in general outside of your energy in this reading, but it feels quite aligned with purposeful for your reading, right? I can sense that you're feeling quite peaceful in the next 48 hours, which is purposeful. You may feel as if you've been very busy recently or just have had a lot going on in your mind, right? They're saying decisions to make, but being pushed to slow it down, okay? Don't force it, don't overdo it. Rest and relaxation is truly key or just important for you in the next 2 days. But a focus as well, on materialism. Your spiritual connection, taking somewhat of an increase for some in the next 48 hours or just being heightened, and that could come with a bit of messing with. Don't be surprised. But you being pushed to recognize that, or to remember that you truly do like materialism, right? Materialistic items. You could find that your finances increased recently, or will more so in the next 2 days. And therefore you're able to purchase a couple items that you need to, or one specific item that has been on your list, on your mind for a while, okay? It feels like somebody is utilizing or buying a crystal to their advantage, okay? Very interesting start. Let's continue. I do feel like you're seeking a higher truth, okay, with this Tibetan Fire Serpent card, pushing you to take on a better path if you need to go on a divine detour, or just to improve one's path moving forward, to experience better than you once experienced, okay? Let's pull some tarot. Take it day by day is now what I'm hearing. There's no need to sort of stress oneself out about accomplishing everything when you need to, or just feeling as if every decision has to be made preemptively. You know, learning on the way, figuring it out on the way, prepping to a certain extent, but accepting that you don't have to have all the answers to move forward. For my lovely Geminis, the next 2 days are going to highlight certain disappointments, emotions that come to the surface from all you've been accomplishing, certain people or situations that didn't leave you feeling very complete or just satisfied in a lot of ways. You may find that certain people from the past that hurt you are highlighted or even do pop back up for one reason or another. If you're watching this close to when I post it, Mercury retrograde, okay, I do feel like that's playing into it. But I do feel like it's all to sort of help you heal or learn something new, gain a new answer or a level of clarity in order to just conclude something in your mind and move on forward. Okay, there's whatever does come to the surface, just remember there's a reason. But I do feel as if it's all to highlight or to prep you for a change moving forward that is truly necessary for your individual path. Okay, and all the meanwhile, I feel like it's leaving you with a new sense of confidence, but it could just push you to be overly serious all the meanwhile, given obviously what you dealt with in the past wasn't perfect or easy to cope with, right? And it's like some of you may have tried to block it out of your mind to an extent, but it's the next 2 days where you're reminded you haven't fully healed, even if you think you have or want to pretend you have, right? Please take that in the right light. But it just feels as if it's like the changes that are coming to be moving forward and need you to prep in the sense that this healing needs to be wrapped up and finished, or just make a significant amount of progress so you can make the best out of it moving forward. You don't want to hinder the success that lies ahead for you. But you will find that especially in the second half of the next 48 hours, your confidence is quite present, very focused on your money, your pentacles, potentially feeling as if it's a good distraction at times from all that you're dealing with or just that's popping up. But it feels like you will find this nice sort of balance, some of which even healing through your work, okay? Going through a bit of a balancing act and finding that it doesn't need to be, everything doesn't need to be accomplished in a speedy manner, right? Going back to the fact that you're being pushed to slow it down, okay? Slow your mind down if you find that it's racing. It's the next 2 days where you're pushed to prioritize your happiness in the midst of making a choice, okay? You're going to be put in a spot where you have to decide between two people, two options, two decisions. It could be minor for some, but it could be bigger, you know, like people or jobs or living situations. It will vary from Gemini to Gemini, from case to case. But this is to remind you that you can utilize the answers, the inner compass within, to come to that conclusion side by side with your spiritual guidance, right? The knowledge, the wisdom that you have from everything you've been through coming into play, of course. Don't forget about that. It just feels like at times this is to remind you that you can make decisions about your future, about your path in a very concrete manner if you just take a step back and trust what you're feeling, what you know, and just move on forward, okay? And I feel like for some, it's about slowing it down in that decision process and not feeling as if you have to make that decision or decisions moving forward like that. Of course, sometimes you have to think on your feet depending on certain restrictions, right? Time restrictions, or whatever the case may be. They're saying limited time. But I do feel as if this is one of those decisions where you can take a hot second. So do so. Now, in moving forward, right, migrating around in what feels like at a productive pace, you're being pushed to recognize that as you move forward, you're quite guarded, okay? And that Three of Swords definitely plays into it. But I do feel as if your passions are coming to the surface or playing into your situation in, they're saying a heavy way, but in just a way that's meant to be moving forward. It's next 2 days that reminds you where your passions lie, okay? But not to feel the need to be 1000% guarded. And part of that healing is to allow for you to potentially start to regain a bit of trust in humanity or other people, or even oneself in, you know, making decisions and whatnot, and just in general. But also just to recognize or remember that having this full body of armor on is not going to allow you to gain the best results possible. And you want to be able to open up to an extent to allow certain people in who you trust, or at least begin to trust, based upon your instincts, your intuition, you know, that gut feeling that comes about, okay? It just feels like there could also be one person who you run into, meet, or cross paths with in the next 2 days who reminds you of somebody you don't want to associate oneself with from the past. Purposeful, Okay, it's a reminder that you have a good sense of what and who is right for you moving forward, period. Okay, but I just feel as if this next 2 days is to allow you to start fresh, to start fresh emotionally and just move forward feeling less weighed down by the burdens, the difficulties from the past, right? The wounds that life and certain other people have inflicted upon you, okay? A lot to choose from, okay? A lot of options moving forward in whatever you decide to embark upon. But it just feels like there is a tower moment that you're experiencing moving forward. But I feel like for the most part, putting an end to the disappointment, the heartbreak, the difficulties, right? Did I say that already? The disappointments, right? Patching up your beautiful Gemini heart to allow for oneself to start fresh once again and move forward with the utmost confidence, knowing that your ships are meant to come in. This was the weirdest way to lay these out. And allowing yourself to remember that the future is so much brighter than your past once again, but just remembering to rest and to take time to figure out what's right for you and not to rush into anything, okay? But not to hold oneself back all the meanwhile, and to remember once again, you have a bright future, my friend, okay? So I hope this was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing next 48 hours, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Gemini.